I want, I choose, I claim. My talk today grows out of 3 conversations I had recently with Rob Geyer about the power of those 3 little words I just said. I want, I choose, I claim. With Roger at our heart, it wasn't really a brainstorming so much as a heart-storming session the other day, about the power of denials and affirmations and the energy of where we send our love, our vibration. And with my daughter Beth, who may or may not be out there in YouTubistan this morning, live. I hope you are, Bethy. She has recently claimed her path as an artist even more fully. It also stems from my own deep desire to claim my path, to walk my talk as your minister, to walk my talk in the world as the unrepeatable expression of the divine that I am, and invite you to consider how your own unrepeatable path is unfolding. The notion of pilgrimage, and John O'Donohue will show up for me too, Dave, in just a few moments. The notion of, excuse me. The clearing of the throat and claiming of the voice, while not on mic. The notion of pilgrimage is very alive for me right now, of trying to see my life as a pilgrimage, as an intentional journey, seeing my journey with my house repairs as a pilgrimage, or at least trying to, seeing our communal journey as a pilgrimage through the messages of Advent into our season of light, into the release of burning bowl, and the setting the path, the intention of white stone. Interesting. Claiming my voice. Here again is the passage that I shared last week from author and modern-day mystic Christine Walters Paintner, who writes about pilgrimage, that pilgrimage is an inner journey in response to outer movement. Sometimes the journey doesn't involve, excuse me. I live with 3 adorable dogs that I'm allergic to right now on my no house of my own pilgrimage. Every now and again, that delightful puppy energy lands right in my throat. So please excuse me. Pilgrimage as an inner journey in response to the outer experience. Sometimes it doesn't mean we leave our homes. We might embark on pilgrimage because of illness or a loss, a transition in our lives, and find that we are moving into new internal territory. She reminds us the old structures no longer hold. This is the practice of hearing the call. Whether it is a call we desired or it came unbidden. When we respond and say yes to the journey, it takes us on. The journey takes us on. and then we become pilgrims. When life beckons, we can resist at every turn, or we can recognize that things are changing, and our invitation is to open ourselves. Those words hit me like the proverbial ton of bricks last week in introducing Patricia Pierce and her journey of pilgrimage, and they have stayed with me all week long, filtering through the musings, the internal pacing that I do in preparation for this moment of my week on my path. We respond and say yes to the journey, and then we become pilgrims. I looked up on unity.org How I Think About Denials by Reverend Linda Martella Whitsett. Spiritual denial is not the same as the psychological term that means refusing to face reality. We never suggest denying the facts or glossing over feelings. This form of spiritual denial, a term coined more than a century ago, means to release or renounce. It is disidentifying with and eliminating thoughts and beliefs that we have come to regard as false, limiting, or negative. True denial releases the energy expended in holding non-productive ideas. That's the whole energy of our release at the burning bowl ceremony. We deny the power of something that has held us locked, and we let it go up in flames. A reminder that we are releasing any energy that is stored that no longer serves us. And we are making room for claiming our path. Also from unity.org, and if you haven't checked out the monthly affirmations, it's a beautiful page on the site. I'll try and remember to link it. Affirmations are life-changing positive statements of truth. By affirming, we are lifted into higher consciousness and reminded of our spiritual nature. Each time we pray positively and faithfully, we are calling forth the divine activity that is always within us. Let my life be prayer. Pray without ceasing. Let my words and my thoughts and my love in all actions be the affirmation of the truth that we are held in divine energy. We are divine energy. My thoughts and words reflect my divine inheritance. When I listen to my inner conversation and recurring thoughts, I may hear fear-based, limiting talk, or words encouraging me to live joyfully and confidently. So back to my conversation with Rob. When Rob shared how he had been contemplating the difference between saying, I want, or I choose, or I claim, I had a visceral bodily reaction to the energy of the word claim. When I want, I might be focused on what is wanting in my life. Whoa. Yeah, I could feel that energy as well. But the power of the word claim, to feel that energy running through me, sitting at a diner, and then up and out again. That energy of claiming makes a difference. During the early months of lockdown, when teaching on Zoom, holding space for a community's well-being, when my own felt pretty completely undernourished, and when living hours away from my beloveds felt like I was a million miles away from them, I took a watercolor class on Zoom that my daughter Beth taught. I ostensibly took it to support her in her claiming of her path at that time of combining these two passions of teaching and art. Being the good doobie mom that I am, I was like, of course I'll support you in that. Those weeks, though, helped me claim my inner creative force, the energy of the Creator alive in me. And time is a very funny thing. Yesterday I had a great conversation with Beth. Really, I hope you're like live online right now, my daughter. Well, she might not be. But I had a great conversation with her and shared with her my conversation with Rob. I want, I choose, I claim. Because my almost 40-year-old daughter, my baby girl, has recently claimed her life as an artist more fully, more courageously, letting that kind of safety second job fall to the background as part-time so that she can devote her time, her energy, her yes into her life as an artist. And she had an experience this week that really matched and echoed the conversation I had with Rob, and that echoed the conversation I had with Roger about where are we pointing our attention. In her claiming, this is how I want my life to unfold, she had an experience this week that the universe gave her that positive feedback loop. Oh, right. I made the claim. And now my whole life is pointed in this direction, and the universe recognized that. And here is that feedback loop because I'm aware of it and I am looking. Later that afternoon, I went and spent some time in my house under repairs to soak in what still, in some rooms of that house, feels like my own sacred space. And lo and behold, I came across this little tiny note card from my watercolor class that I could allow myself the safety of painting a rainbow, but on which I claimed, creativity is Creator's will for me. My creativity heals myself and others. Through the use of my creativity, I serve God. My creativity leads me to love and truth. I didn't make those up. I borrowed them from The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, a book I had had on my bookcase since 1997 that took me till 2020 to actually open up. Of course. It took me claiming the gift of supporting my daughter to actually find that God was nudging me, not so subtly, to recognize I don't have to be an artist like Beth is. I have to be an artist like God created me to be. When we did our prosperity class, my denial and affirmation that kind of arose from working through John's book was this: there is no lack in the universe. All my needs are met. I I set my sights on the goal that I'd be back completely in my house by December 7th. I'm still here. I did not say which year. Oh my gosh, I did not say what year. I opened the energy of reminding myself that there is no lack. That denial was important for me, and the truth is also important for me. There is no lack in the universe, and all my needs are met. But I had some pretty hefty expectations and ideas about how God should answer my prayer to get me in my house. I had some pretty hefty expectations. Those were not mine. Those were part of my limit and part of the journey of seeing this. As hard as it is some days to step back, is to recognize that my idea of time and God's idea of time and what is possible in that time, they're different. I don't have the full picture. The power of where we set our thoughts, our hearts, our energy. For me, I can only feel that revealed and my ability to claim it when I give myself space to quiet the constant chatter of my mind. Our thoughts are important. Our minds are important. But the bridge of the emotion to the body and then to the mind, encompassing my spirit, I don't even know sometimes what I'm thinking and feeling because I'm too busy. We have a gift coming up in a couple of weeks where, as a community, we're going to land in what it means to have a spiritual practice for crazy times. And I don't know about you, but I think all the times are crazy. They were crazy eons ago. They're crazy now in a different flavor. And it is both true and false at the same time, right? That is not our ultimate reality. And yet all we have to do is turn on the news to hear how our time, this moment that needs us, is calling for us to claim our path, to live our mission, to embrace the divine in all beings, even when those beings make us bubble up inside with despair or rage. How do we recognize that they aren't making us do any of that? Whew. I can't do it alone. I can't do it at all. I can only show up as love when I pause, when I listen, when I look out at your faces that are love, when I listen deeply in a conversation for what is behind the words, then I can hear God within. I can feel that energy of claiming, of trust, of saying yes to the hard work sometimes of being love in all actions. That's who we say we are. Our core value begins with it's all about love. And that is not a Hallmark movie love. It is love that invites us to dig deep. To reach out. To pause and listen. On this pilgrimage that I am on, John O'Donohue. Honestly, that's one of my very favorite John O'Donohues that you read today about new beginnings, Dave. Thank you for that. And here is another one connected to pray without ceasing, releasing those false beliefs and letting our lives, our very lives, be prayer. Here are some words from John O'Donohue, an excerpt from Eternal Echoes. Give yourself time to make a prayer that will become the prayer of your soul. Listen to the voices of your longing, the longing in your soul. Listen to your hungers. Give attention to the unexpected that lives around the rim of your life. Listen to your memory and to the inrush of your future, to the voices of those near you and those you have lost. Out of all that attention to your soul, make a prayer that is big enough for your wild soul, yet tender enough for your shy and awkward vulnerability that has enough healing to gain the ointment of divine forgiveness for your wounds. Enough truth and vigor to challenge your blindness and complacency. Enough graciousness and vision to mirror your immortal beauty. Write a prayer that is worthy of the destiny to which you have been called. Write a prayer for your soul that is worthy of the destiny to which you have been called. That is the invitation now to our time of meditation. To listen to that destiny to which you are called. If you were here for White Stone, you may have a word that Spirit led you to that calls to you this year as a North Star. If that is the case for you, I invite you to bring that word, that phrase, along on this journey with you. If you were not here or it does not fit this morning, see where Spirit and your wild soul lead you today. You may find, as I also get grounded in this time of quiet, sometimes my voice gets quiet. My voice is only an invitation and something to latch onto if it helps. You can let it be white noise rolling off your back. You can let it be an invitation to lean in closely and listen to where Spirit is leading you. I only ask that you trust whatever arises for you today is simply all you need. We begin by taking a breath and settling in wherever you are. Let your inhale cleanse and your exhale release. Let your body settle softly partnering with your breath and with Spirit to lead you on your own journey inward, a pilgrimage to the prayer of your soul and all that your soul asks you to claim. Is there a story, some narrative, an experience that somehow creates suffering or a sense of lack in you? Can you feel the wanting, the leaning into what is lacking? And see it and feel it with compassion. And find the words and the will to release its power over you for now, in this moment. Where is there a sacred gift hiding in that story? In that feeling of lack or wanting, is there a sacred gift waiting for you to find it as you release that power and that hold? All things for the good in God's time. In the ointment of your divine forgiveness, can you listen now to your hunger? Listen to the attention of your soul and its deepest longings. Can you feel the power of your divine sight, of your divine yes, opening your vision, releasing blindness and complacency. And opening the way before you. What does the prayer of your soul call, cry, long for you to claim? The power of your claiming is your divine inheritance. Let your body, your spirit, your soul come alive with the claiming. In this moment, just as it is. Breathe deeply into the promise of your soul's prayer. The power of the breath of God alive in you. Bringing you to this beginning, this moment. And I invite you now to come fully back into this moment. To feel the power of your soul's prayer. And to take a moment to look around this room, to look at the people in the room you are in, or to imagine our loving eyes coming to you across the illusion of time and space. See your fellow pilgrims on the way. And feel the blessing of claiming our path. As pilgrim souls together, saying yes. Saying yes. And hear these last words of inspiration, again by writer Christine Walters Paintner, to companion us on our way. God of homecomings, our lives are a pilgrimage journey seeking the discovery of home in the world. We travel not in straight lines, but in circles and spirals, revealing old patterns and ways of being that need healing. Trusting in life's unfinished nature, but also our deep desires of the heart calling us to reorient ourselves again and again. Magnify our vision so that each journey we make leads to expanded growth and wisdom. Help us to continue to dive into the refreshing river of life, allowing the current to carry us closer to you. Carve out in us a space for both grief and joy, so that we may meet life with eyes and heart wide open. Remind us of the ancient pilgrims we travel with, seeking an experience of you beyond boundaries, drawing us closer to our own wild edges. Those moments when we do arrive home. Give us the deep rest we desire, where we remember your presence in all that we do. May it be so, and so it is. Amen.